everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Daria, if you're new here. And today's practice is inspired by a question from Eckhart Tolle in his book, The Power of Now. And this question is there joy, ease, and lightness in what you're doing? I've been coming back to this question a lot in my practice and also in my life lately, and I've noticed the shift that this really creates. So we're going to be exploring these themes, joy, ease, and lightness, in today's movement practice. This class works into the hips, the hamstrings, and the heart space primarily. You just need yourself and some place to move and maybe a couple of yoga blocks if you have them and you know you like to practice with them. Whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll get started from a comfortable seated position. So finding your way here to Sukhasana, or if you'd prefer, you can sit up on your knees in Virasana, kneeling warrior position. Either way, finding a conscious placement of your hands onto the thighs, either facing up or down. Begin to allow your eyes to fall closed, letting the close of them be soft and easy. Right away, begin to drop your awareness into your body, feeling from the crown of your head, down through your face, into the shoulders and the arms, awareness to your hands and your fingers. And then feeling into your torso, into the heart space, your belly, the whole line of your spine. Noticing the weight of your pelvis pressing into the earth, and then feeling the anchoring or earthiness of your legs and your feet. And just notice what's here in your physical body space today. You might notice different sensations, maybe some kind of energy moving through, maybe an emotional state in the form of sensation. See if you can just observe without needing to change or judge anything. Noticing also the qualities of your mental state. Some days our thoughts are moving really rapidly. Other days things are a little slower paced. So just notice where you fall along that spectrum in this moment. Again, without needing to change it, just observing. Now begin to consider this question. Is there joy, ease, and lightness in what I'm doing? And see if you can feel somatically in the body what these aspects feel like for you. What does it feel like to be joyful? What does a state of ease or lightness feel like physically? And then allow yourself to begin to breathe into these words, like you could breathe life into them in the deepening of the breath. Taking your inhalations through your nose, filling all the way up the entire container of your torso until the breath touches the surface of your collarbones. And exhaling to release fully every drop of air. Beginning to fade in Ujjayi breath, slightly constricting at the back of the throat, gliding the breath along that space, listening to the ocean wave soundtrack of your breath. Stay for 2 more rounds here. Begin to draw your palms to prayer at heart center and begin to really seal or land this question and these themes into your body. Take a full inhalation. Cleansing exhale out of your mouth. Begin to blink your eyes open and find your way into tabletop position, onto the hands and the knees. Feel a broad foundation into your hands Spreading your fingers away from the center of your palms, tack down all 10 of your finger pads. With your next breath in, get soft in your belly. Start to lift your tailbone toward the sky. Spread a little bit open through your ribs, and then reach your heart toward the top of your mat and turn your eyes so that they look in the same direction that your heart is pointing. Cow pose. When you exhale, press down. Start to tuck your pelvis underneath of you. Get hollow and compressed in your front body. Close your ribs. Let your head fall heavy towards your chest. Cat. Next inhale breath, coming back into that arch. Tailbone lifts up, pull your heart forward and turn your eyes so they gaze to the sky. When you exhale, press down, pelvis tucks under, core hollows, chin falls toward your chest. 2 more. Now really linking the rhythm of your breath to the movement. Inhaling to arch. Exhale to round. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Find your way to a neutral spine. Really steady tabletop here. Walk your knees more together. With your next inhale breath, stretch your right leg long and back behind you. Have your toenails pointing down so your hips remain square. When you exhale, drive your right knee forward and see if you can touch it to your upper arm. Inhale, extend, right leg straight back behind you. As you exhale, right knee bends, cross it behind your left one and just tap it down to the mats. Inhale, right leg stretches back, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, knee forward, touch it to your upper arm. Inhale, extend, right leg back. Exhale, right knee taps down behind the left one. Really feel your belly button suctioning up towards your spine. Inhale, stretch the leg back. Exhale, squeeze, right knee forward, touch it to your arm. Inhale, stretch back. Exhale, right knee behind the left one. This time staying here, widen your feet so they come into like a triangle shape behind you. And just begin to play with rocking your pelvis back in space and then moving it forward in space again. Everyone's range of motion here will be a little bit different, but we're just trying to kind of massage through the outer hips, particularly the outer left hip here. If you want a circular action can feel nice, and sometimes getting the spine involved, like a little slinky side type of movement, like lateral movement, or even like little waves through the spine. So just whatever you want to do. Couple more breaths here. All right, begin to slide your pelvis all the way back in space, seeing if you can land your sitting bones down in between your heels. From here, crawl your right foot a little bit more forward to give you more space to really land into the left sit bone. If this is too much, you can stretch your right leg straight forward or find a block and place it under your sit bones to elevate them away from the earth. Step your right fingertips out wide beside you. Take a breath in, flex through your toes, energize through your spine, lift your left arm. As you exhale, arc up and over toward the right. Getting a little side body stretch here, seeing if you can maintain the anchoring of your left sitting bone to the earth as you do this. Play with bending your left elbow. Catch the back of your head in your hand. Slightly lean back and turn your heart toward the sky. One more inhale. One more exhale. Release your head. Begin to crawl your fingertips forward toward the top of the mat so they root in front of your shins. With your next inhale breath, try to drag them back, but without actually moving. As you do this, reach the back of your heart forward and stick your butt out slightly. When you exhale, bend your elbows, relax your jaw, relax the gaze of your eyes, and fold in here. Again, maybe making some little lateral movements to deepen into what you're feeling. Now begin to step your left fingertips off the mat beside you to the left. Inhale, sweep your right fingertips to the sky. Exhale, arcing up and over to the left. If you like a little bend in your left elbow, you can take one. And then catching the back of your head in your right hand, start to lean back, tilt your heart skyward. Full breath in. Full breath out. Next inhalation, press down, rise up to the center. Now we're gonna play with a kind of a funky transition here. Lean back, step your feet down to the mat. So it might be not quite like flat on both of your feet. Playing with coming into like a little twisted squat and then all the way up into a twisted fold. So you can separate your feet about hips distance apart and just drape your torso down over your thighs here. I like to roll to the knife edges of the feet and kind of flex the toes back. I find a deeper opening into the lateral lines of the legs here. But play around. For you, maybe keeping the feet flat will feel nice, so whatever you need. Notice if you're resisting or holding at all in the back of the neck. Try to drop the head really fully. If you need a little bend in your knees or fingertips on blocks, that can always help. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Crawl your feet a little more together. See if you can press your left foot entirely flat and really root into the left big toe. Root your fingertips. With your next inhalation, begin to stretch your right leg all the way back behind you. As you exhale, keep your leg floating. Walk your hands to the top of the mat, and we'll come here into a three-legged down dog. Taking a deep breath in, micro bend your left knee, energize the back line of your right leg, press your hands down and forward, and just see how much you can grow through all of these lines. As you exhale, float your left heel, hug your right knee forward, cross it to your outer left arm, so toward the left tricep. Flexing your right ankle, hook it to your outer left thigh. Widen that knee, and then pivot your left heel down, aligning the pinky side of your foot with the back edge of the mat. Now, keep both hands for a couple breaths, pressing down and forward. Bend into your left knee. Try to stack left hip on top of the right one, so right hip is actually wrapping a little bit like forward and underneath of you. Begin to get lighter into your left hand, dig into your right fingertips, and then with your next inhalation, open up your left elbow to a cactus position, turning your eyes to gaze up. When you exhale, press your left foot down and toward the back of the mat, and circle your left fingertips all the way forward over your ear, plugging your shoulder into your body as you do this. One more big breath in. Breathing out, use your core, pivot to face the top of the mat, place your left palm down, pick up your left heel, turn those toes forward, hug your right knee to your chest, hold, compress, 3, breathing, 2, 1, step, right foot all the way through to your right thumb, come onto your fingertips, and let your back knee touch down to the earth. When you breathe in, begin to float your arms to the sky. Anjaneyasana, kneeling warrior. As you exhale, circle your hands around to your sacrum. Fingertips can either point down or up, whatever feels the best to you. And then try to really drive your pelvis down and forward, but simultaneously lift and energize up through your low belly. Create a shelf with the shoulder blades that you can lean back into, so there's an inflation of your heart. Left toes can stay tucked or press the toenail side of that foot down, and maybe sink in just a little bit deeper as you take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Release, using the core to rise up. Place your fingertips to the mat. Start to slide your pelvis back in space and flex your right toes up, coming into half splits. Fingertips on blocks if you like. When you inhale, elongate or energize out the line of your spine, like your sitting bones are being pulled back and your heart's reaching forward. As you exhale, just bow all the way down over your right thigh. One more breath like this. Inhaling. Exhaling. Now place your left hand down directly beneath your shoulder. When you inhale, turn your right fingertips to the sky, so it's like a twisted half splits. Really press into your right heel and your left knee and try to drag those 2 points toward one another. Once again, feeling some lateral opening, outer hip, outer thigh. Take a breath in. Breathing out, release. Place your right fingertips down. Step forward into right foot. Have your knee stacked over your ankle. Tuck your back toes and lift that knee off the ground. Now, find your big toes into the earth. It's like if you were standing on sand, you're making an imprint down. Breathing in, rise all the way up with the torso and with the arms into a high crescent lunge. As you exhale, slight tuck of the pelvis, energize up from your belly to your heart space, and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Take one more full breath in here, energizing the pose. When you exhale, lean forward. Begin to widen your arms, pressing straight down into your right big toe. See how smoothly you can glide your left leg up and back, coming into warrior 3. So tilting the torso down and finding like a T shape with the body here. Squeeze belly button up toward your spine. Take a breath in, elongate in every direction. As you breathe out, play with keeping your arms lifted and dive down into a standing splits. So really slowly seeing how long you can wait before you place your fingertips to the earth. And then once they do land, have them about in line with your right foot so that you can fully surrender the weight of your head. See if you can touch your nose to your shin. Now, spread your left toes and stretch them higher to the sky. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Next inhalation. Float your left toes back. Stretch the crown of your head forward. Walk your fingertips forward, so into a standing L. When you exhale, bend your right knee a little. Take kind of a narrow step back with the left foot. We're going to land into pyramid, so angling the toes out, then sinking your heel down. Start to drag back on your right hip. Wrap forward with your left hip. Once again, blocks are here if you need them under the fingertips. Inhale, make a little wave through your spine, like a halfway lift, seeing how much space you can create between vertebrae. As you exhale, just bow forward over your right thigh. Take another breath in, growing through your spine. And another breath out, folding forward. With your next inhale breath, begin to float your left heel off the ground. Stretch long through your spine. As you exhale, root into fingertips or palms, pressing down. Pick up your right foot, glide all the way back into downward facing dog. Pause here. Let's take a couple of breaths. Your body might want to be still, or your body might want to wiggle around and explore the shape through movement. So whatever you need to do, go for it. Coming back to joy, ease, and lightness, feeling these words and how they manifest in the physical body. Full breath in, full breath out. As you inhale, lift your heels, round your spine, and come forward into a high plank, hovering shoulders over wrists. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your core. As you exhale, super slow lower chaturanga for 5, 4, elbows magnetizing to the ribs. 3, 2, 1. Sink your pelvis, untuck your toes, land your heart and your chin to the earth. Interlace your fingertips at the base of your spine. Squeeze the heels of your hands together. Begin by rooting the toenails. Press your pelvis down. Then inhale, float your heart and stretch your fists back behind you. As you stay, see if you can lift the pinky side of your fingers, of your hands, up toward the sky a little more and really broaden into your chest. One more full inhale breath. As you exhale, just release the grip. Keep your heart floating. Place your palms beside your ribs. Then press down to rise up into a taller, higher cobra position. Draw the shoulder blades together and down. Feel the energetic lift of your entire front body. And just see where you can expand more. Where can the breath open up some new doorways? Inhale. Exhale, tuck your toes behind you, little arching of your back as you stretch your hips all the way towards your heels, reaching the heart and the eyes to the top of the mat. Dig into your fingers. Breathe in, come forward with a rounded spine into cat pose. When you breathe out, softening into puppy, landing the tops of the feet down, drag your palms forward and let your heart anchor to the earth. If the chest and the chin aren't quite coming down, you can place a block underneath them, or you could root your forehead to the earth instead. And seeing if you can feel the softening of the creases of your hips here and the anchoring of your thigh bones to really allow everything just to melt and drop. And let's focus on the word ease in this posture just for a couple more breaths. Begin to press down into your palms. Lift your heart and your head and walk your hands back in underneath of the shoulders, setting up in tabletop. Walk your knees all the way together to touch. With your next inhale breath, stretch your left leg back behind you, hovering in line with your torso. As you exhale, hug left knee forward, touch it to your upper left arm, maybe reaching it all the way into your armpits. Inhale, extend left toes back. Exhale, left knee touches down behind the right one, crossing the body. Inhale, extend left leg back, crown of head forward. Exhale, squeeze, compress your core, knee to your arm. Inhale, stretch back with the leg. Exhale, touch left knee down behind the right. One more. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, squeeze in. Breathe in to expand. Breathe out, left knee behind the right one. Now widen your feet and begin to play into the shifting of the pelvis. Rocking back in space, maybe side to side, maybe circling. Once again, just taking some time to be intuitive with it. Seeing where you can create space in the body. Now begin to shift your hips all the way back and see if you can land your sit bones down in between your heels. As you do this, crawling the left foot more forward, maybe slightly more forward through the right one as well, anchoring into both of your sitting bones evenly. Again, if you need, stretching the left leg here straight or propping your pelvis up onto a block or a pillow, something like that. Place your left fingertips out beside you. Breathe in and lengthen through the right side of your body. As you breathe out, arc up and over toward the left. Bend your right elbow, catch the back of your head in your hand, pressing those points into one another. See if you can turn your eyes to gaze up. Breathe in and breathe out. Release right fingertips down. Start to crawl all 10 fingertips toward the top of the mat. Dig into them. Breathe in. Draw your sitting bones away from your heart. Lengthen your spine. Breathing out. Bend your elbows a little, relaxing through your face. Bow in. One more breath here. Now walk your right fingertips out beside you to the right. Take a breath in, circle your left fingertips high. As you breathe out, side body stretch up and over toward the right. Catching the back of your head in your hand. Draw your elbow beside your ear to deepen the stretch into your triceps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, press down, rise up to a tall seated position. Lean back and come to a cross more at your ankles, more so than the knees. See if you can rock your weight a little bit forward, stepping into the feet, crawl your hands forward, then begin to lift your hips to the sky as we come into this twisted forward fold. Bowing your head down, play with maybe lifting the toes, spreading them, rolling to the knife edges of the feet. And then it can feel good to sway the pelvis side to side here. See if you can release anything from the back body that is held or tight, any sticky spots that you don't really need to hold. Take a breath in and a breath out. Now, begin to walk your feet a little closer together, stepping flat into your right foot. Inhale, stretch your left leg back behind you, coming up onto fingertips into like a standing L position. Now, as you exhale, keep walking your hands forward to the top of the mat. Stretch your left leg really high and micro bend into your right knee as you find a three-legged down dog. Imagine you're just like airing out all of the lines here. Take one more inhale breath. As you exhale, float your right heel, hug your left knee to your right tricep.
Then flexing your left toes, hook your ankle outside of your right thigh, making a figure 4 shape. Spin your right heel down so that the pinky side of the foot becomes aligned with the back of the mat. Then press your hands down and forward. Scoop your left hip kind of underneath of you. Turn back with your right hip. Get lighter into your right fingertips. Dig into the left ones and begin to cactus up through your right elbow, finding a squeeze of the shoulder blades together behind you. Take a breath in and circle your right fingertips all the way to the top of your mat as you press your right foot down and backward. Next exhale breath, right hand comes down to the mat. Turn your torso so it points forward. Lift your right heel. Hug your left knee to your chest. Hold and squeeze. 3, compress. 2, maybe touching your nose to your knee. 1, gaze down and step. Left foot to inner left thumb. Coming onto the fingertips, allow your back knee to touch down. When you breathe in, float your fingertips to the sky, Anjaneyasana. When you breathe out, bring your hands to your sacrum, either fingertips down or fingertips up. Create a drawing in through your kind of like middle core, through your waistlines, and then a lifting of your ribcage like you're trying to expand it away from your pelvis. Suctioning up really energetically through the low belly. Begin to sink your pelvis down and forward. Option to untuck the back toes and sink the toenails or like root them into the earth. Creating a little curl of your thoracic spine, the middle back, while trying to feel almost like an extension of your low back, like your tailbone is wrapping toward the earth. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Using your core to rise back out of this, pull your feet toward one another and place your fingertips to the top of the mat, framing the left foot. Drawing back on the hips until your left leg comes straight-ish into Ardha Hanumanasana. Feel the spread of your left toes and really try to draw them back toward your shin. Breathe in, stick your butt slightly back, and feel that your spine is growing forward through the top of your head. When you exhale, keeping all of that length, see if you can bow in just a little bit deeper. Again, breathing in. Breathing out. Place your right palm or fingertips down beneath your shoulder. With your next inhalation, start to turn your left fingertips toward the sky, coming into a twisted half splits. Notice what you feel here. Seeing if you can still find that long line of energy through your spine. Hug in through your core. Turn your right ribs toward your left ribs. Get a little lighter through the fingertips of your left arm. Take a breath in. And breathing out. Pivot to face the top of the mat. Step into your left foot. Have your knee over your ankle. Tuck your back toes and lift that knee. Pulling up through your right thigh. Take a breath in. Root into the earth and rise to standing in a high crescent lunge. With your exhale breath, shoulders settle, making space around the neck. Feel as though your fingertips are suspended on strings that are gently being drawn toward the sky. Take one more breath in. When you exhale, widen your arms. You can imagine here that the air is solid, so you could press into it, using that to step forward into the left foot and launch your right leg all the way back behind you into Warrior 3 variation with wide arms. Then just let yourself hover here and extend and expand in every direction. Breathing in. Breathing out, keeping the core connected, steadying the focus of your gaze, starting to dive down into standing splits. Doing so for as long as possible, maybe playing without using the hands. And then when you need, landing the fingertips down, dropping your head fully. Hips staying square, so your right thigh bone is spiraling toward the ground. Seeing if you can release any idea of what this needs to look like and really just feel it from the inside out. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, standing L, walk your fingertips forward, stretch back through your right toes. As you exhale, bend your left knee, stretch your right toes back behind you. Have your feet about hips distance apart. Land your right big toe, then the ball of the foot, and then the heel and the pinky side. Coming into pyramid, drag back on your left hip. Left leg will become straight-ish. See if you can feel from the soles of your feet, like you're drinking or soaking energy up through the earth to the lines of your legs. Take a breath in, dig into your fingertips, elongate the line of your spine. As you exhale, folding in. And just take one more breath like this. Inhale, halfway lift, sitting bones back, stretch, crown of head forward. As you exhale, place your palms to the mat. Start to lift your back heel off the ground and turn those toes to point forward. Take a breath in to prepare. When you exhale, press down, round your spine, pick up your left foot, and just step back into downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Feel for broadness in your upper back space. And then create a symmetry to your breath. Inhales last, the same length as the exhales. As you breathe in, lift your heels, round your spine, and shift forward into high plank, squeezing front side of body to back side of body. As you exhale, elongate in your plank and lower slow chaturanga. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sinking the pelvis. Untuck your toes and lower all the way down onto your belly. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. In one inhale breath, lift your heart, lift your arms, feet, and thighs all away from the earth, hugging in toward the midline. And just let your body be super bright, super alive and vibrant. One more breath in. Breathing out, release tops of feet down, release the grip of the arms. Place your palms beside your ribs. Inhale, press down and rise up into high cobra. Shoulders away from your ears, energizing up through your low belly. When you exhale, tuck your toes, arching the back as you send your hips towards your heels. Keep reaching your heart to the top of the mat. Breathe in, round your spine, coming forward through hands and knees. When you breathe out, coming into puppy, untuck your toes so tops of the feet press down. Begin to slide your hands all the way forward and rooting either chest and chin or forehead to the mat. 3 breaths here. Where can you create more ease? Press down, begin to lift your heart and walk your hands back in underneath of your shoulders. Tuck your toes, take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift your knees and send your hips back into downward facing dog. Begin to walk your hands to your feet at the back of your mats. Hanging in ragdoll just for a breath. Inhale, exhale. Now root into your feet, squeeze through your core, take a rounded spine to rise all the way up to standing, 1 vertebra at a time. Nice and easy lifts. Let your head come up last at the top and then soften your shoulders away from your ears. Press into your right foot. With your next breath in, circle your arms wide to the sides as you draw your left knee in towards your chest and then eventually float your fingertips to the sky, one-legged Tadasana. When you exhale, kick your left leg straight forward to the top of the mat. Stay here for a breath in. Reach your toes as far forward as they'll go and slightly tilt back into your back body. And then we're gonna lower the legs slowly and see if you can come to landing on the tip of your left toe. Lift your right heel, shift the weight forward into your left foot, dropping that heel. Take your arms wide to the side like a cactus shape. And then allow your right leg to glide up and back behind you, moving into airplane. Keeping the heart puffy, take a breath in, inflate. As you breathe out, bowing down once again into our standing splits. So slowly, playing without using the arms. And then instead of fully coming into it, we're gonna walk the hands forward into three-legged down dog. If you need to realign on your mat, you can. Take a breath in, stretching up really high through your right toes. As you exhale, drive your right shin forward, aligning for half pigeon, lowering the shin to the earth. And then crawling your left toes back behind you. Come up to a tall seated position here. Taking a few breaths, maybe with the fingertips in front of your shin or maybe beside your shin. Dig into your left big toe and try to pull that foot toward your right knee. This helps to wrap the left hip forward and make everything really square. Now you're welcome to stay here, or if you like, you can play with beginning to float your fingertips to the sky. Press your palms together and then connect the thumb side of your hands to the back of your head, really rooting those points into one another. Just focus on inflating your heart. So taking every inhale breath to make more space there. Maybe beginning to lean back any amount. One more inhale. As you exhale, beginning to fold forward onto the forearms. Coming into sleeping pigeon, you can untuck your back toes, placing your head maybe to a block, maybe to the mat, just finding somewhere to rest. Practicing here, if or when you encounter some intensity to the sensation that arises, ask if there is a softening that can occur. Is there an element of lightness, even through shadowy spots of the body? Begin to climb back up onto your palms. Placing them beneath the shoulders, curl your back toes under, breathe in. As you breathe out, press into your hands, lift your back knee, then your front knee. Glide into three-legged down dog. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, stack your hip, bend your knee, and pivot into wild things, spinning your left heel down, right toe step off the mat behind you, bend your knees to back off, scoop your left shoulder blade under the back of your heart, then really drive into what's connected to the earth and start to expand your body open here, feeling the whole front line stretching out. Let this be super light, super easy. Take one more breath in. As you breathe out, revolving through like a side plank, using the core to come back into downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Breathe in through your nose. Wash the breath out through your mouth. Start to walk your hands all the way to the back of your mat, coming into a fold there. Dig into your big toes. Again, a rounded spine, stacking or rebuilding one vertebra at a time as you rise all the way up to standing, softening the shoulders away from the ears. As you inhale, step into your left foot and draw your right knee in toward your chest. One-legged Tadasana, arms float high. As you exhale, extend your right toes straight forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, lean slightly back with your heart, reach forward with your right toes. As you exhale, landing onto the ball of your right foot, lift your left heel, breathe in, inflate your spine. Breathing out, root your right heel, allow your arms to widen, draw your left toes back behind you, and curl your heart forward, coming into airplane pose. Breathing in here, just grow through everything. As you breathe out, starting to bow down like you're going to come into a standing splits, tilting your heart forward, steadying the balance by rooting your big toe, focusing your gaze. Then land your hands and walk them forward to the top of your mat, maybe wiggling your right toe slightly back, coming into one-legged or three-legged down dog. Taking a breath in here, letting everything air out. As you exhale, float your right heel, hug your left shin forward, aligning for half pigeon, anywhere between 45-ish to 90 degrees. And start to wiggle your right toes back as you sink your pelvis toward the earth. Coming up to your fingertips, have them either in front of your shin or maybe beside you. Pull left knee and right knee toward one another, wrapping your right thigh bone so it points straight down. And just breathing here. Noticing if the breath constricts as you encounter resistance and seeing if you can soften through all of it. Maybe beginning to float your fingertips to the sky. Maybe bending the elbows as you connect your palms and touching the thumb side of your hands to the back of your head. Feeling the inflation of the heart with every inhale breath. Playing with a little gentle back bend if you like. With your next exhale breath, beginning to fold forward into sleeping pigeon. Allow your body to land and melt. Feel the support of the earth beneath you and sink into all of the connection points between your body and that surface. Rinsing away any tension around the shoulders or in the back of the neck. Softening through your low back and your low belly. One more breath in. One more breath out. Begin to press down, finding your way back up onto your palms. Have the shoulders stacked over the wrists. Curl your back toes under. Take a breath in. When you breathe out, press down. Rounding the spine, pick up your right knee, then your left knee. Coming into three-legged down dog. When you inhale, left leg high. As you exhale, pivot to wild thing. Spin your right heel down. Step your left toes off of the mat behind you. Wrap your right shoulder blade underneath of you. So external rotation of the right arm. And then just drive into the earth and start to expand any amount. Feeling like a sense of joy radiating through your body, noticing how this shifts the expression of the pose. One more breath in. And when you breathe out, revolving back into downward facing dog in your own time, staying connected through your core. Once you land here, take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out, let something go. One more inhale. One more exhale. Lift your heels and sink your knees to the mat. Coming down to a seated position, begin to swing your legs forward. We'll take Janu Sirsasana. So starting with the right leg extended, hug your left heel in, connecting the sole of the foot to your inner right thigh. Let your knee open up wide. Feel the press of both sitting bones evenly to the earth. Breathe in and sit up really tall. As you breathe out, lean your heart forward and start to come into a fold. You could catch onto your shin or your ankle or your foot, seeing if you can keep the squareness of your torso aligning over your right leg. Feeling the drop of the outer left hip, feeling the stretch down the back line of your right leg, and also combing your breath up and down the sides of the spine here. Begin to press down, rising back up. Crawl your fingertips in. Lean back and switch your sides. Left leg forward, right foot draws in. Connect it to your inner left thigh. Anchor into your sit bones. Lift up through your spine and the crown of your head. With your next exhale breath, folding forward here. Noticing if you're kind of leaning inside of the leg, see if you can align so that you're directly on top of it. And finding a grip wherever is available to you. What would it feel like to create some lightness in the way you're breathing? One more breath. Begin to rise all the way back up. Extend both of your legs straight forward and just take an easy roll down to lying on your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms right away around your shins. Compress into a tight squeeze here. Hugging your body so tightly, creating a little bit of heat in doing so. Take a full deep inhale breath. And as you exhale, opening up into Shavasana, arms and legs wide. Surrender the back of your head down. Let your hands soften and your feet. And see how quickly you can find a state of stillness and rest. Give your body these next few moments to drop, to process, to reset, and to really celebrate all the efforts of your practice. You can stay here as long as you wish, but when you're ready to move back into your day, start to take some deeper breaths. Taking the exhale breath to spread new bright energy into the arms, down the legs, and begin to wake up your fingers and your toes with some little movements. On an inhalation, extend your arms all the way back over your head and stretch from the pelvis forward through the tips of your toes, growing long. When you exhale, rolling into fetal pose, coming onto a side, tuck your knees in and relax your head all the way down. Press into the earth and find your way up to a tall seated position. Closing our practice in Sukhasana or Virasana, wherever you would like to be. Anchoring your sitting bones down, lengthening your spine tall, resting hands to thighs. Soften or close your eyes. Noticing what has shifted in your body from the beginning of practice to now. Draw your palms to prayer at heart center and consider this question as you move into the rest of your day. Is there joy, ease, and lightness in what I'm doing? This helps us to anchor into the present and just to invite a more spacious energy to our lives and to things we might be moving through from a habitual place. Take a full inhalation through your nose. Exhale, let something go. Lift your hearts and bow, chin to chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your movement practice with me today. I hope that this felt good in your body. If you had any discoveries or questions that came up in your practice, leave me a comment down below. I love to hear from you. I hope you're doing really well wherever you are. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can do that down below. You can also join as a monthly donation member. Both of these really help to support me. Have a great rest of your day or your night, and I will see you soon in the next practice. Bye.